What's up, guys? Welcome back. So, I broke my arm and I've been having to do like light duty type of work, and I pushed a big job that I had out in order to give my arm time to heal, but your boy's getting bored, and I figured out why not try this new side hustle that I've been kind of hearing about and seeing, and I remember it from when I was younger, but I never really tried doing it. So today we're gonna paint addresses on curbs. We're gonna see how much money we can make. First, what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to do my own address first, just to get a feel for it, see what really goes into it, because even though I got a bunch of tools to start, I'm sure there'll be something that I didn't think of. So I'm gonna do mine first, and then we're gonna cruise my neighborhood and see if we can't make some money and teach you guys how to do your own curb painting business. If you are young and you need a summer job, this is probably a great way to earn some money, but we'll see if it's actually doable. So we're gonna go today with minimal tools. Fortunately for me, a lot of the tools I already have because I am a painter by trade, but a lot of these tools you can get, and there's always substitutes for everything that I have as well, and we'll go over that right now. So let's go practice on my curb, see how it goes, and then we'll see how much money we can make. Stick around, subscribe if you haven't already, if you want to. All right, let's go. So here's some of the tools that we got. And this is a masking gun, and basically you don't need this. I have it, so I feel like it's gonna make it a little bit easier. This stuff here goes onto this and it tapes it, so you put a piece of tape here and you'll see how that works. Really, you could just roll with just this. You don't really need the device so I recommend getting some 2-inch. I anticipate needing 2-inch. I have the 1-inch tape here, and this is what I'll put on the gun in order to seal down the paper. I just went to local Ace Hardware, and I'll leave links to all this stuff in the description if you're just trying to order it online instead of having to go out and track it all down. So these are the two that I'm using, white and black for now. I decided to go with the gloss protective for the actual digits. I felt like that might be, I don't know, just a little better. It wasn't that much more either. These cost about $5 a piece or something like that. This paper here, a wire brush, I think is pretty necessary because you want to kind of prep out the area before you paint. A little deal here just to kind of peel up the tape once I'm finished and everything. And I got stencils. Now, I think we might run into a problem. These are the 6-inch stencils, but I'm anticipating maybe the 3-inch stencils would be better, but we'll wait and see. And then I got a blower too, because the area over here is pretty dirty, so I want to go ahead and blow it out. But I mean, if you just had a little hand broom or like a little sweeper, maybe even a paintbrush, an old dusty paintbrush would work. All right, so let's get to it. We'll try it out and we'll see what goes into it, and then we'll do my neighbors and we'll cruise up and down the street and see if we can't make some money. The goal is to make $100 today. Stick around at the end of the video to see if we can do it. If you want to do something like this but you're scared of knocking on doors, believe me, I know it's terrifying. So instead, click the top link in the description for my Facebook marketing strategy, and it'll teach you everything you need to get jobs like this without having to knock on people's doors. So, just like I was saying earlier about the tool that I'm using here, this masking gun, it's not something that you necessarily need, but it definitely helps speed up the process. You could just use the tape and run it out and rip it, or however, even like newspapers would work. But the gun is a little bit pricey. You can find them for anywhere from 25 to like 30 bucks, and I'll leave a link in the description. But luckily I had this, so my startup fees were a little lower than normal. And right out the gate, of course, I noticed, like, shoot, I need 2 number 1s, and all I had was 1. So I figured, okay, now I got to figure out how to line it up and make it match in the box, which again was another one of my early mistakes. Is I should have built the stencil ahead of time, taped around it, and then painted, because the stencils already allow gaps in between the numbers. I was trying to compensate. I was trying to guess at how much space would be needed without just making the stencil. It would have been much easier. So also, one thing that I overlooked on this first practice run is I didn't tape the stencils together, and I had bleed through. You can see in between the numbers and a little bit of overspray. So I'm glad I started on my own, because I can live with that. So I'm gonna do my neighbor's house. It's actually a house I just painted in my last video series. If you haven't watched that, make sure you go back and watch that. It's the first job that I did with a broken arm. It's been done now for a couple of weeks, so we're healing up. I'm gonna go ahead and do theirs just because I want to get a little more practice. And on my numbers, I think I may have done the box kind of big. What I didn't do last time was I just kind of built the box and then put the stencil. This time what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lay the stencil down and then build a box around the stencil, so it's not quite as large as mine. So I got 6-inch letters. Like I said, if I did it again or had a do-over, I would probably only get the 3-inch ones, and I'll leave them linked in the description below. But one other thing I noticed while doing mine is I have multiple duplicate numbers, but I only have 1 stencil kit. So when you order, make sure you get 2 packages, potentially even 3 packages, depending on the numbers. Keep that in mind, that you're gonna need multiples of the same digits, unless you want to just do like I did, and I just did it, you know, in sections, but you know, it takes a little longer to do it that way. Those are 2 tips that I've learned so far, is make the stencil first, build the box around the stencil. And there's another way you could do this with a roller where you wouldn't really have to measure because you could just roll it on. So I'm gonna look into that, and maybe in another video we'll go over that method and which one is better. All right, let's get into it. So another thing that I wanted to mention before we get too far is if you do decide to use the brown masking paper that I'm using on the machine there, make sure to get 12-inch because it comes in 9, 12, and 18. The 9-inch I feel like wouldn't give you enough barrier to protect from overspray. So, a little pro tip. Guys, I'm going up to my first actual cold call. Let's see how it goes. Knock, knock. Hi, it's me, neighbor. So I'm going around painting curves. You know, I broke my arm recently, so I was trying to make up for some lost time while I'm down. And I'm charging $10 to do the address on the curb. Would you be interested?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, $10. Okay, cool. Thank you. Boom. So I know starting off in my own area was definitely a benefit to kind of get the confidence built up because people recognize you. If you start in your own area, you know, the area where you walk your dog and you're out and stuff. So I felt a little more comfortable knocking on the area where I live. So if I could give you any advice to getting started, and if you are nervous about knocking on doors, you know, try your own neighborhood first, because you just be like, hey, it's me, your neighbor. You know, you don't have to go into some long spiel or long pitch or anything. So as I was fighting the wind, so was that gate up there at the top of the screen. I think the neighbor came out to maybe latch the gate and noticed I was out here working, and he was hollering over at me. And sorry, I turned it up here. The sound gets a little loud, sorry, but you can hear him if you listen.
Wait, the numbers on there?
Yeah, you want to do yours next?
Let's go. So the neighbor to this house came out and noticed me doing it, and he gave me a 20 spot. So we're gonna do his next. All right, let's go. So earlier in the video, I mentioned that I wish I wouldn't have gotten the 6 inches instead of the 3 inches, but honestly, I think you need to have both sizes. I think a 6-inch stencil actually makes really visible numbers on the curb, and I was actually quite pleased with the 6 inches. Now, 3-inch stencils I think would also come in very handy because I've yet to encounter the small curbs that are vertical. These are at a 45-degree angle, but there are some curbs that I'm sure I'll encounter that are vertical, and I'm not sure that there's 6 inches vertical. So I think having both 3-inch stencils and 6-inch stencils is definitely beneficial. So yeah, just keeping you guys up with what I'm learning as we go. Hey, and if you guys are still here watching, put Lucky Socks in the comment section so that way I know you guys are still here supporting. Appreciate it. Hi, how you doing? Good. So I'm actually out painting the address on the curb for all the neighbors, and I'm charging $10. And I was wondering if you'd be interested.
I love them.
You would?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah, $10?
Yeah, $10. Yeah.
Okay.
Help me out.
Grab it out of the car.
Yeah, because I've been kind of slow with my broken arm, so I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get out there and see if I can make some extra money. Yeah. That's for someone else. This one's for me. Okay. All right, not bad. All right, so we got $1 tip, so that's $11. All we asked for was 10, so that's 10, 25, 15 is 40, plus 11. Should we made $51, guys? And that's not bad. That's only doing 1, 2, 3, 4 houses. It's getting pretty hot, so I'm gonna see you guys in the studio. Let's go. Okay, so we're back in the studio. Actually, it turns out we made a little bit more. We made $56, everything all included. I do know it cost us about $26 to get all the supplies together, and that's about $5 each for the cans of paint and about $5 for the paper, and all the other stuff I scrounged up. I'm sure you could get paper for cheaper, and all the tools I bet you can find at the Dollar Tree or even like Harbor Freight, somewhere real simple, or like, you know, your dad's or grandpa's garage. And then, you know, I could have made, we didn't reach our goal of $100 in one day, but I know that it can be done, because if you could do, you know, let's say you could do 3 an hour, which is very easily done, especially if you're on the same street. Let's say you do 3 an hour at $10 a piece. That's $30 an hour, 30 times 8. That's $240 a day, give or take. I think it's safe to say you could easily make $200 in an 8-hour day. You find one good neighborhood, just go in and start, hey, hitting them up. So hey, it works, guys, and we're gonna get back out there and try to do it again and see if we can't do $100 again. So make sure you subscribe, and we're gonna try to hit that $100 a day painting curbs on addresses. And until then, watch one of these videos, or I'll see you in the next one. Peace.